Majestic, Marie, and Laura. Got the wrestling world right here, no need to go far. All girls podcast, bringing vibes so grand. Talking power bombs and peaches, we've got the upper hand. With a smile, positivity, and tales of the ring. From Eddie Kingston's moves to each title swing, we're here to cheer, laugh, and maybe even cry. Join us on this ride, let's kiss that heel goodbye. Peaches and power bombs, let's start the show, where legends come to dance and superstars glow. Listeners, come closer, hear the stories flow. With Majestic, Marie, and Laura, watch your fandom grow. Every episode's a celebration, moments that we hold. No storyline too big, no champion too bold. For the love of the sport, for each crowd's thunder, wrestling's in our hearts, ever full of wonder. Every episode's a celebration, moments that we hold. No storyline too big, no champion too bold. For the love of the sport, for each crowd's thunder, wrestling's in our hearts, ever full of wonder. So raise your signs high as we speak the truth of epic rivalries and glory of youth. From Eddie's grit to the Diva's reign, in every bout there's joy amidst the pain. Oh, peaches and power bombs, let's start the show, where legends come to dance and superstars glow. Listeners, come closer, hear the stories flow. With Majestic, Marie, and Laura, watch your fandom grow. Watch your fandom grow.
What's good, everybody? Thank you for coming and hanging out with us on this beautiful Tuesday evening. And as you can see, it's just it's me and Jamie tonight. Marie is still recovering from her recent wisdom tooth surgery, so we wish her well. I know how that was, and thankfully mine wasn't bad at all, but everybody is different. We sent all her well wishes, including Mina. Mina sends her well wishes. But as you can see, Jamie has returned once more to hang out with me tonight. And
glad to be back.
Yeah, of course. And of course, Jamie, he's from the Florida area, and he kind of does little things here and there, wrestling wise, but you know, we always enjoy having him here. So how are you doing?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Good. All right. We already got a comment. I have a feeling this is Christine. And she wishes Marie well too. And Mina has been looking forward to this all day today. So, but anyways,
yeah, I hope she gets better. I've had those wisdom teeth bad.
Oh yeah. I had mine removed just before the pandemic back in January 2020. Just before, all four of them. Thankfully, it wasn't bad at all. But anyways, so anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And you know me, I got to give me just a second here because I'm not used to doing this, but we're gonna start like we always do. We gotta have the Briscoes bring us in and get us ready to go.
Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready.
You can say you're ready as many times as you want.
That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Y'all boys ain't ready.
There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick?
Hey,
somebody losing sleep.
They losing sleep, baby. I've been getting the best sleep of my life.
I've been snoring, baby. I've been snoring.
Dreaming about this ass.
Oh, the perfect hype video. And of course, what I intended to do this evening, regardless of who was on, I wanted to talk about AEW and NXT a little bit more. I know me and you've kind of been talking about it off the podcast, but with WrestleMania coming up, it's going to be the next 2 weeks are going to be crazy busy with roundtables and just all kinds of stuff. Preview, review. And so I figured tonight we could focus more on, like I said, AEW and NXT. And I know that's more of your thing. So it was kind of a perfect opportunity for you to come on and kind of give your insight to that. So,
yeah, I love NXT, particularly right now.
Yeah, for sure. Now, before we get started, we had some not so good news Friday night. Kevin Owens has announced that he has suffered a neck injury that is more serious than initially thought. He has to go get surgery, and that leaves him off the WrestleMania card, and Randy Orton does not have an opponent.
Yeah, that was a bummer because I was really looking forward to that.
I was too. I really was. But especially something as serious as a neck injury, I'd much rather for KO to get it taken care of, and they're going to find a replacement for Randy, no doubt about it. So who though, I'm not sure yet, but I think we'll see that as early as Friday, because he did RKO Nick Aldis. That was pretty cool. Because he did return that favor from when he overpaid him a couple years ago for the RKO. So, but we hope, we at Peaches and Power Bombs, we hope that KO gets well soon.
Yeah, I love that.
And that he will be better than ever. So, all right, we're going to turn it over to AEW. We're going to talk about that first. Mina, come here. Come here. Fine, be that way. Anyways, so according to social media, there was very mixed feelings about the ending to the pay-per-view. But judging from go ahead.
I was just like, yeah, kind of doesn't make sense. I'm sure they'll explain it, but just did not make a lot of sense.
Right. But there was other matches on the card that well made up for it. I think. And I will go over that right quick. Like I said, neither one of us got a chance to watch it, but if any of our viewers watched it, let us know what you think, and maybe we could touch on that a little bit. Well, you don't want to come up here. Oh, now you do, now that I done took it off. Here. Look, say hi. Say hi. There. You happy now? Okay. Okay, so I gotta tell you, I'm so glad we're kind of talking about this now. So last weekend, last week sometime, I was watching Collision, and they were talking about Jay White versus Kevin Knight was coming up, and they were just explaining who Kevin Knight was. They're like, oh, he's from New Japan in the dojo. Right. I was sold on that immediately. I was like, okay, already, I need to check this out, right? That dude he's special. He's got a future ahead of him.
Yeah, he had 2 matches, I think, last week. He had one on, I think it was Dynamite and on Collision. And both of them were really
Yeah,
good.
he tagged with Will Ospreay on Dynamite.
Yeah, he's I had never really heard of him before, but um, you know, uh Switchblade spoke very highly of him, so that was a good thing. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what he can do, and he was very, very impressive in his 2 debut
Absolutely.
matches.
And what do you know? He's a Georgia boy, so I gotta like him. But yeah, him and Jay White had a fantastic match. Jay White went over. Unfortunately, Jay White did get injured afterwards, so he had to pull out of the Owen Hart tournament. But Kevin Knight did compete in that. I guess it was in his place. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
him and Will Ospreay faced off. I heard this was really good, just judging from the review. Will Ospreay did win, and he is advancing in the Owen Hart tournament. Let's see.
Yeah, it got pretty much like A or 5 stars from every rundown that I read of it. Sounded like it was a really good match.
Yeah,
But then,
Mark Briscoe. Go ahead.
But Ospreay is one of those guys that can generally make anybody look great. But if he's in there with somebody that's really good, which like Knight appears to be, I'm sure it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I'll get a call from my nephew and he'll be like, "You need to watch this. This is really good." Yes, nephew, but you need to come over and let me see it so I can. He has the stuff I don't. But I was telling we had breakfast together Friday, and I was like, "Tell me what's up with Kevin Knight." He's like, "Oh, that dude's wonderful. He's great, wonderful." I'm like, "Okay, Alex, okay." But yes, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher both advanced in the Owen Hart tournament. They had 2 those, and the other ones hadn't taken place yet. And then of course Mercedes Moné advanced in the Owen Hart tournament on the women's side. Their match on Collision Saturday, it was her and Harley Cameron against Julia Hart and Athena. Man, that was some good stuff. Harley was a lot better in this match. I remember telling you a while back, I felt like she's very, very green. Which that's obvious, but it really, really showed. But she was a whole lot better in this match. Collision Saturday. Julia Hart, she's to me, she's one of their workhorses.
Yeah, she's very solid.
Yeah,
and Harley's, yeah, she's green, but she keeps getting better. She's got the character part of it down. She's just got to get the actual wrestling skill to catch up with it. But she's really gotten really good, I think, for the very short amount of time she's been in wrestling.
I agree.
I mean, she got brought in, she was like the boyfriend of another wrestler, but then she's like, okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. She's only been wrestling like, I think, 2 years.
Yeah, she's one of those that once she finds her footing in terms of style and how she wants to do her work in the ring, I don't think there's no stopping her, because she, like you said, she's got her character down pat. Very charismatic, fun, cute,
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that she brought the puppet back. I popped on that.
And if she was in WWE, they would be already marketing the heck out of those puppets.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why AEW hasn't yet.
I'm telling you, AEW shop. Come on now, get with it. But yeah, I've all 3 of those matches of the Owen Hart Cup has taken place. I do think it's going to be Mercedes and Athena wrestling next, probably in the next couple weeks or so. It's happening. There's no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really good, though, because both of them aren't held back by Vince or WWE or anything. So they're going to really tear the house down when they do decide to do that match. It could be on a Dynamite or a Collision for all we know. Let's see. Let me get
that was my only thing about the Owen stuff. Was that kind of feels like the Owen stuff should be like on Dynamite or Collision, and like the final should be on a pay-per-view, not the actual, tournament matches.
Yeah, the final's going to be at Double or Nothing. I think they'll feature a match on Dynamite or Collision 1, and then you'll have your semifinal before Double or Nothing. And then you'll have that on there. But either way, it's a really good thing for AEW. That's probably one of the biggest advantages that AEW has is the support of the Owen Hart family and the Owen Hart Foundation. So, I mean, if anybody has listened to Dr. Martha Hart's interview on Talk is Jericho, or seen the Dark Side of the Ring or whatnot, I feel like they've always wanted to give back to wrestling, but just not WWE. And I can't blame them. After I heard her side and some years that passed and whatnot, I can't help but respect her for that. But they're finally doing something positive with his name. And this is definitely something I love every year.
Yeah, I love the Owen tournament.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I'm going to get to a couple more comments right quick, which is Christine. And she was telling Mina hi. I'm not sure what she meant by what happened. I know we were, if you're talking about KO, I just think, I don't know if it's one set thing or not. Probably more likely in a match he got hurt. I don't know. I think he talked about it, but I didn't read into it.
From what I've heard, he's had it for a while. It's one of those things that he's been dealing with, and it's just got to the point where he just can't put off the surgery anymore.
Yeah.
That it got like re-aggravated like really badly here recently, but he had been dealing with it for a little bit.
And anytime you deal with like some sort of neck injury or whatever, you're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Swerve and Moxley. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll get to that in a minute. Jeffrey, but wouldn't the Athena versus Monet match be better as a main event, or at least a pay-per-view match away from the Owen tournament? I think they could do something more after the fact, especially if one of them wins the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the only time that they face off.
No, I don't think so either. Honestly, when I'm thinking about it, the way they're kind of going at each other lately and the way Athena showed up a couple weeks ago on Collision, I do think there's going to be more to that than just that one-off in the Owen tournament. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the last time we're going to see Billy Starks versus Monet either.
No.
They're still kind of fueling that a little bit right now, so I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that.
Okay.
Because Starks is now a full AEW wrestler, not Ring of Honor now. So.
Okay, let's see here. The Hurt Syndicate retained. Let's see. I did hear that FTR did turn on Coke, which I think a lot of us saw that coming.
Yeah, they've been building up to that for a couple of weeks now.
And yes, we have a new TNT champion. Ray All Day is here. I don't know if y'all are doing a show tomorrow or not. Ray, him and Marie usually do the tailgate party. Yeah, I guess I'll do this for you. Hold on, I got to find it first. We got to do this just for Ray All Day.
Yep.
So here we go.
Yeah, I'm glad Adam Cole won. I like it when he has a championship, and he usually carries it really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he was the right it was the right call. Daniel Garcia actually had a pretty solid run. Like I said, his matches with Kyle O'Reilly and Lee Moriarty on Collision were top notch. I mean, just state of the art, because all three had amazing chemistry with each other, regardless of who it was. It helped tie in a couple stories. So I was very I think Daniel Garcia is another one that he's kind of under the radar a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I just always kind of felt it like he's a good wrestler, but I don't think it was his time for a run yet, because the crowd just seemed like that too. It's like when they gave him the title, they were just like, he's got the title. And then it was one of those things where AEW didn't really, they booked him a lot recently and really strongly, but after he actually won the title, he didn't wrestle that much.
Right. Well, you know, like I said, those couple matches I saw that kind of made up for it.
Yeah, he had some really good matches. He had some very good defenses.
I mean, yeah, they were, like I said, they were absolutely fantastic. So what do you think happens now that FTR has turned on Cope? Cope obviously is going to come back for revenge at some point. You know, who accompanies him, if anybody? It's really hard to say.
Yeah, he doesn't really have that many, I would say, allies in AEW.
Right.
So I don't really know. I mean, he's not going to come at FTR by himself, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Which is where I really think they're probably going to go with him. He's going to
because obviously their thing with the Death Riders is over.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think we might get some answers at Dynamite, but until Cope comes back, I'm not, you know, when he comes back, I don't know what's going to happen. And that's a good thing, you know. I like to keep guessing. I don't want to be like, oh, it's going to be Christian. Oh, geez, you know.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. It's like maybe they'll just, you know, some of their not really making sense booking, maybe it will be Christian.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Go
ahead.
Somebody in Patriarchy turns on Christian and joins them, possibly. I mean,
and you know what? That could very well happen too in the time that Cope is gone. So Jeffrey predicts Christian and Cope versus FTR. Very well. Hey, give it. I
mean, it could be Wayne, because I mean they've already built in tension with Wayne and Christian. Maybe Wayne Lee. I don't know.
And you know, there's going to be time in between all this. It don't have to happen tomorrow, but Jeffrey does bring up a good point. Maybe, you know, down the road, let it build a little bit and then go from there. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, exactly, Jeffrey. That was just what Jamie was saying. So speaking of the Death Riders, Tara Mox and the Death Riders, will it ever end?
I hope so. I like everybody in the Death Riders. I just don't like them as the Death Riders.
I just, it doesn't click. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
It's just not.
For me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, you should have kept it as the Blackpool Combat Club and called it a day, but they went in this whole new direction, and I don't think the audience really is into it either. But I will say,
doesn't seem like it.
no.
It's hard to tell if you're not actually at the live event, but through TV, it does not come across as people really give a crap right now.
I will say that mixed tag match was great Wednesday. With Mox and Marina Shafir against Swerve and Willow Nightingale. That was a very good match. Very, very well done. Everybody did a great job in that match. So, I mean, nobody's saying that they're terrible in the ring because they're not. It's just the whole story, the direction behind it. I know it's not jiving with me, and I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. And see, the thing is, they had a really good out with Cope had basically finally taken out all the Death Riders, and Willow had taken out Shafir, so it was just Moxley left. Everybody else was hurt, so it would have been a really good time to kind of push that aside and end it. The only one that was not hurt was Yuta. And they kind of made him walk out, but then he's back again.
Yeah.
So it would have been a good time to just say, okay, call it a day with that group. But no, they've reformed it and kept it going.
Yeah. And now it's going to continue even further because of the Young Bucks showing up at the end of Dynasty in the end of that match. And it's like, I know when I saw the results, I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, that made
why?
Sense. I was sitting there thinking, like, what sense does this make? The whole thing with Moxley was he did not like the Elite. He didn't like the people that were running AEW, which is the Bucks. So why in the world would the Bucks be helping Moxley? That just doesn't make sense. They don't have any personally animosity or that we've seen towards Swerve either. So why? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sure they will have some explanation at Dynamite, but I'm just like, that's just this weird.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're getting at. There's really no. They had a character. It was kind of like a character change, yes. But as far as direction goes, it's just chaos.
What Jeffrey just said right there in the comments. What direction?
Yeah. So now they don't put the Young Bucks into it. It's kind of like you remember back during the Thunderdome where they kept going on and on and on with the Mysterio family. You're like, oh my God, when is it going to stop? It's kind of what it feels like to me at this point.
Yeah. As I said, I like every member of the Death Riders individually.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Particularly Moxley, where he used to be, and I've always been a fan of Claudio. Always. His entire career.
Well,
but I just don't like that group.
It's just, I don't, it just. Jeffrey says the Young Bucks never wanted to get involved with the Death Riders before, and all of a sudden it matters. So, exactly. We're like, will they come out Wednesday and actually say why they did it, or they're just going to say a bunch of stuff, riddle it in, and you're just even more confused? I don't know. So, but the one thing that we saw Wednesday, Swerve and Hangman got into it, and Swerve actually admitted that he deserved to have his house burnt down. And I think that really surprised Adam Hangman Page.
Right.
So, and apparently Hangman did come out to help Swerve. Let me find it here. Give me just a second.
I think that was just part of the complete face turn that they're trying to do with Swerve, is he's admitting, I knew I was, bad I was a really bad person. So yeah, I deserved it. But I'm not that person anymore. I think that's part of his redemption arc.
So definitely, I don't think it's over with Swerve and the Death Riders, Young Bucks. Now you're going to have an ally in Hangman Page. That's good. Hangman does have a lot of history with it, primarily a lot of history with the Young Bucks. Could that have been a reason as to why the Young Bucks decided, hey, we need to be allies with the Death Riders because, I don't know. I keep saying I don't know because I don't.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, that's the only thing I can think of is if Swerve is going to ally with Hangman. Hangman has a lot of history with the Bucks, so they might do something with Swerve and Hangman versus the Bucks. That semi makes sense now that you mention it.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that part if they wanted to stay ahead of the plan when it comes to Hangman, but it was like, why did you insert yourself into the Death Riders business? Like,
Considering
that's a little
Moxley
much.
supposedly, hates the Bucks and everybody that runs AEW. That's like his whole thing.
If you think of it that way, it is a little much because I'm pretty sure everybody was like, nobody understood the purpose of it. Like, I know I didn't. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, hey, good friends, better enemies in this case. Okay. So, but yeah, and then of course, Toni Storm retained her title. Kenny Omega retained his title. He had a stare off with Kazuchika Okada, which they have a wonderful story history.
I heard the Omega match, that 3-way was really good, and I'm glad Tony retained because I'm not really sold on Bane yet, and Tony has just been knocking it out of the park.
Golden treasure. Oh my God.
She's a national treasure at this point.
Yes, I mean, the character change is probably one of the best things she could have did. Even though like her previous character we all know and love, like that wasn't boring in any shape or way. But I think for her evolution overall, that was needed, and she's knocking it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, her promos have just been great.
I agree, Christina. I have no idea why they came back. I forgot they were gone. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just there's so much going on.
And right now, the reason I'm glad she retained is Bane right now to me is just very she's a good athlete. She's pretty good in the ring, but she's just one-dimensional kind of at this point. She's just one of those, oh, she's big, she's tough. Okay. A little bit more depth to it than that.
Yeah, she does need more depth, but overall, she has a great look. I love her presentation. I think that was kind of more of a, an obstacle for Toni at this moment because of how, how stacked she looks. So, excuse me.
She looks like a a worthy opponent to her. It's the Ric Flair thinking. One of the reasons he stayed on top for so long is he said it. He's like, I have to have people to fight. I have to make people. If I don't have anybody credible to fight me, I'm not going to be a star.
Right. So because it does take two to tango at the end of the day.
Like he's said alongside, he's like, like Ricky Steamboat, he made him or helped make him. He helped make Sting. He helped make Lex Luger. And just a lot of those people. I mean, he had to have credible competition.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, and we touched on this a moment ago, but Owen Hart tournament predictions. Do you have one on top of your head at this second? Guy
To
and a
win
girl.
the whole thing?
To win the whole thing.
I still get bet against Ospreay because if he wins, it'll be a big main event over the summer with whoever the champion may be at that point. For the women, I hate to say it because I don't want her to win it, but probably Mercedes.
Yeah, I think Mercedes is going to win.
Just because they don't want her to lose right now.
Right. So that's why the whole thing with her and Athena is going to be so big. Because, well, Mercedes already has a loss, but even though she hasn't been pinned, Athena hasn't been either. That's going to be the big thing going into their match.
Right.
So whoever wins that match is going to win the Owen Cup on the women's side for sure. As far as the men go, who's going to be the wild card? That's the biggest question for me. Who? And you know, we said that Swerve and Hangman kind of have like a little bit of a truce going on here. What if it was Swerve? But then again, you know, they might come up with somebody else for all we know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jeffrey says Kyle Fletcher or Mercedes.
I could see Fletcher doing it, winning it. I don't have the bracket in front of me, so I don't know. It would probably, I would say, probably will be Ospreay and Fletcher in the finals. Because that's just money.
Yeah,
they've already had several matches, but they have great matches.
Mm-hmm. We still have Brody King and Takeshita. They're going to have a match. And then you got Hangman and the wild card. Those are the two matches left in the first round. If that helps you any.
I can see several people winning it, honestly, but I still think the money's probably on Ospreay. But Fletcher, I could see because they really like Fletcher. They know that he's got a good future. There's a lot of story stuff with Hangman that they could do because they've always let him get close to the championship, but not really keep it. Mm-hmm. He's got past with Moxley. He's got past with Swerve. So from a storyline perspective, whoever actually has the title would be good. If they somehow let Swerve get the title by the summer, him and Ospreay would have a great match if he won.
I think so too.
If Fletcher won it, that would be great. A great match for that pay-per-view.
If Kyle Fletcher wins, I do not see him facing Mox. I just don't.
No,
so
I would rather.
I think it just really depends on who the champion is going to be come Double or Nothing. But I could see Mercedes and Tony at Double or Nothing. For sure.
Yeah, because it would be a champion versus champion, and you'd have one champion that has 4 different titles. So
that's a good question. Go ahead.
So I think if they're going to let Monet be like the cleaner, like Omega was, you know, I could see them having her fight her. They might have them fight Athena. I hope they don't. She's got 4 titles. I don't want her to get.
That's why. That's why I'm just kind of like.
It's like Bobby Lashley in TNA at this point. Like he had at one point, I think in TNA, every belt. I think in TNA. at one point, or darn near it. And Omega had what, 5? I think
he had a bunch too. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey says Hangman versus Swerve would be awesome, but who is ready to return is usually who they give the wild card to. That was my next thought. I was going to say that as well, and Jay White is out of the question because he's got a broken hand. Yeah, and who would it be? I can't believe they don't have somebody like Powerhouse Hobbs in it because he's one of my favorites. He's such a good talent.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of people that they could push into the role.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who's due to come back that could very well show up as a wild card to take on Adam Page or Hangman Page.
I can't think of anybody that's out or coming into AEW right now. The only
Juice is a good one. I can see
he's
that.
out.
Juice is a good one.
Yeah, he's out. Killswitch is out. Jack Perry's out.
You know what? I wonder if it is Jack Perry.
That would make sense to me.
That would make sense because he's aligned with the Bucks too.
Right.
And that would be a way to kind of get under Hangman's skin. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with Jack Perry. I'm gonna go with Jack Perry because I think that would be fantastic. They'll want Hangman to beat his ass. Let's see. And then it'd be him versus it'd be him versus Kyle Fletcher.
I mean, I think Perry would make the most impact.
Page would probably win and go against Kyle Fletcher, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Jeffrey said Bryan Danielson was backstage in Dynasty. Yeah.
Yep.
He was last year's winner too, wasn't he?
For the Owen?
For the Owen Cup. I can't remember. We can't remember nothing here.
I'm trying to remember who did win it last year.
I know Willow did. No, Brian May did last year. I do remember that. Child, what?
Did Adam Cole win it?
Him and Britt Baker were inaugural champions.
Yeah.
I will go back and look if you give me a moment. Because I was looking at it earlier and
but yeah, it could be Danielson.
Dang it. Yeah, give me just a minute.
But I think that they would want to keep Danielson's matches down to a minimum.
Bryan Danielson did win last year.
Okay.
2023 was Willow Nightingale and Ricky Starks. Well, Ricky Saints. No, they were the inaugural winners. Willow didn't. She won. She won 2 years ago.
Yeah. I remember Willow winning it, but I couldn't remember who the other one was.
Yeah.
Which is bad because I love Danielson, so I don't know why I don't remember that.
If he did come back and win the tournament, he would be the first one to win twice. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to talk about Ricky Saints here in just now because I think I've wrapped up with I'm done talking about AEW for a while. If you are, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No. Not that I can think of. We pretty much covered Dynasty and where everything's been going here lately. So,
All right. I think Mina pretty much agreed with us on a lot of things and just wanted to show off. Yeah. Yeah, she had a birthday a couple weeks back. No, nothing special, but she got some treats. I brought her. We went to Golden Corral a few weeks ago, and I brought her home a couple pieces of steak cut up for her. You thought she ate it? No, she's too good for steak. It's like there's cats out there that would have killed to have that, and you're like, I don't want it. All right, we're gonna go.
Yeah,
from
cats have weird taste. You never know what they're gonna like.
She likes chicken. I had tore up some chicken for her to have. She just didn't like chicken that day. I'm like, okay, fine. Right.
I had a cat that loved Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Yeah.
I had a
anything
cat.
with cheese.
Cheese. I had a cat. Her name was Sarabi, but her nickname was Boo Boo. I had her for a long time when I was younger. She liked waffles. So, speaking of Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, he is the new NXT North American champion. His match with Sean Spears was good.
Yeah.
I did like the part in the match where he was walking the barricade and he was like taking his hand and kissing his hand and hitting the ladies on top of their head. that was funny. And it just shows the kind of charisma that he has, personality. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a little soon. I felt Sean Spears should have held it a little longer. We talked about that previously.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of annoys me. Like they could have had him win it at Stand and Deliver. My opinion.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that at Stand and Deliver. But
yeah, I was pretty shocked that they did the title change just on, the regular episode of NXT. And they're wasting just like they have been. They're not wasting any time on these AEW guys coming in and revitalizing their rivalries. I mean, they did it with Ethan Page, and now they're doing it with Ricky. And I don't not like Ricky being the champion, but I think that Sean should have held it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you were saying.
Yeah.
That was only Ricky's second match in NXT, I think.
It ain't been many. But he's had a consistent presence on NXT, so that, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Just showing up and winning.
Right.
But and then moving on from the men's North American championship picture to the women's, of course, Stephanie Vaquer relinquished the North American championship, to which they started a tournament last weekend. Me and you both talked about this as well. Both qualifying matches were amazing, like very, very good. I was extremely impressed. Kalani Jordan won against Roxanne in a really good showing.
That surprised me.
I thought really Roxanne was going to get it too. Yeah, and Kalani got a lot of fight in her.
But I think we talked about it last time I was on the show, but I don't really think Roxanne is going to be on the NXT much longer.
No.
So it kind of makes sense that she would lose because they're going to move her up like really.
Well, she's already kind of been flirting around on the main roster with her thing with Bayley. I felt like the thing with Bayley was more of a test run to see how it was going to go. And but the other match with Lash Legend and Oh God, her name just left me. Let me see. Let's see. God, who was it that faced off? It was somebody in Lash Legend. That was good. Zarya.
Yeah.
That was good. I said it was somebody. It was somebody. I don't know if Sean Spears is injured or not. I haven't heard anything. Have you, Jamie?
Not that I've heard. He might be. That would explain the him dropping the title.
Yeah, I would give them a pass on that if that's the case. But yeah, it was Zarya versus Lash Legend and Roxanne versus Kalani. Both Zarya and Kalani Jordan have advanced. Like I said, great matches. And y'all know I pick on Lash Legend. I call her Trash Legend, but you know, over the last few weeks, I'm just gonna say it. She won me over. I'm really starting to like her, and I like her and Jakara Jackson teaming up. I think it's a good. I like the dynamic of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a great tag team. And like I said, I didn't like Lash Legend at first, but she has definitely improved. They had a match on TNA Thursday against Spitfire, and that was really good too.
Yeah, Legend's
check
gotten
that out.
better. She was not one of. I mean, I really liked NXT's women's division. She was not one of the better ones to me, but she's gotten a lot better.
I agree. And her and Jakara Jackson also have flirted with the main roster a little bit. They had them go for overseas to Saudi Arabia for that tag team match, which was a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, and they make a good team. You know, that a lot of the best tag teams are like one where it's a more agile person and then a power person.
Yeah.
So they've got that dynamic, so it's good because you don't often see that in the women tag teams, more so than the men, because a lot of the women are of similar stature.
Yeah.
For example, the only team I can think of right now, like that is in WWE right now with Liv and Rodriguez, Raquel. So.
Right, for sure. Jeffrey says he's going to use Trash Legend. You can, Jeffrey. When she makes me mad, I'll be like, that Trash Legend. Christine says she was a hell of a basketball player at Mississippi State. Yeah, she looks like a basketball player to me.
Yeah, she's tall, strong.
Yeah. And also Kalani Jordan was a gymnast for Michigan State. You could check some of her routines out. Her name was Leah Mitchell. And she was actually a very good gymnast, which Michigan State is in the Natties this year. I'm very excited for them. They have been really good these last couple of years. So I'm excited for Michigan State. Even though UCLA is my team, LSU is my second favorite team, I would be thrilled if they won. HBT from the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Lash has proven herself when she has been used on the main roster. I think she's going to keep progressing. I agree.
Yeah, and they've used her several times outside of NXT already. So, especially since Metaphor as a group is probably non-existent anymore, they'll probably just move them up. Because because I don't know where, I think, what's his name? but he's hurt. And then the other one is on Evolve now, which is weird.
Who's hurt again? I'm sorry.
I can't think of his name now. One of the members of Metaphor. He was hurt.
Oh, I need to look into that because it says Metaphor, and I just know Lash and Jakara. So I need to look into that. See, you either get caught up or get left behind.
And then the other guy's on Evolve now.
Noam Dar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Noam Dar.
Oh, yeah. God, I hadn't seen him in a while. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
they haven't brought him back. And then Mensa, I think was the other guy's name. He's on Evolve.
I got you. All right. We were talking about call-ups, and I just wanted to bring this up. I said this even back to the Royal Rumble. I think Trick is going to get the call-up shortly after WrestleMania, and Roxanne will probably get that call-up permanently as well. I really love this build with him, Javon Evans, and Obafemi for Stand and Deliver. It's going to be a banger. I like all three guys.
Really and I think Trick, if after WrestleMania, whenever they do the next draft, if nothing else, when the draft happens, he'll come up.
Oh,
There's just nothing for him to do in NXT anymore.
Right. I agree.
I mean, in a lot of ways, I think Evans is probably going to replace like his place in NXT, and Oba will probably get moved up. I don't think he'll do this year because I think they really like him in NXT at the moment, being a really dominant champion. So I think he'll be around for a little bit. I think he could move up. But I think they like him.
Javon, to me, he's special. There's something in him. He's going to be great. He's one of those. He don't look like everybody else. I mean, he looks like your average person, outside of the ring, kind of like CM Punk. He's like, I'm not supposed to be here. Javon Evans reminds me of that same thing. And he's got a lot of heart. And I think that's one of the things that wins people over. Obafemi, he has amazing presence, well-spoken on the mic, great in the ring. He's got a hell of a future too. I see him retaining, but I see everybody coming out a lot better after this match. It's going to be one of the ones they're going to be talking about. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it should be a really good match. And honestly, the last probably 2 years, I think the NXT pay-per-view has been kind of better. Their shows just don't disappoint. Ever.
They don't. I'm so glad they changed the whole NXT 2.0 thing. I really think Sean's doing a really good job. HBK.
Yep. Their
Christine
shows are always great.
Christine says Trick deserves to be on the main roster. Jeffrey says Noam Dar is currently inactive due to a leg injury. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I knew he was hurt.
I got
I just
you.
couldn't remember his name.
I got you. If you want to talk for a few more minutes, we can talk about the main roster for a few minutes if you want to.
Sure. I love talking wrestling.
Yeah. So have anybody seen Raw last night? I just saw a highlight headline. You get a favor. You get a favor. You get a favor. Paul Heyman is giving the favors, y'all.
And it's leading up. And it's
I really like how Seth did though, because he was going to curb stomp Heyman and he didn't, and he used that to his advantage, like a mind game type of thing, psychology factor. You owe me a favor now, because I didn't stomp your head in. So that's getting really, really good. I love the emotion behind it and everything. And poor Roman got his feelings hurt because he's probably going to be in CM Punk's corner. No, my tribal chief, I can't do that. Oh,
I told you it's leading up to a Paul Heyman on a pole match. Gonna happen.
Oh gosh. And of course, there's more WrestleMania matches that are announced. Naomi, Jade Cargill, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. We got Logan Paul and AJ Styles. There's my card. I gotta say this. Charlotte got cooked Friday. Absolutely cooked.
Yeah. And
Chicago's a tough crowd as is, huh?
I was gonna say, and I heard they actually edited their promo in the replays.
Plot twist, Christine, maybe. And then Jeffrey says Money in the Bank, Paul Heyman on a pole match. Yeah, pretty much.
It's money. Do it.
Yeah, of course. You get Paul Heyman's services. But yeah, Tiffany and Charlotte had a rather heated exchange, caused a lot of controversy. Me, I was here for it. It was funny. And the Chicago crowd is kind of tough. You would think Charlotte would have been used to that, but Tiffany threw her completely off her game. It's like Charlotte just... And the outfit Charlotte wore didn't do her any favors either. It would have looked better on somebody else. For her, it just... the whole thing didn't work for her at all.
No, when she came out, I was like, what? This is not a... Did she not bring her gear? This is not what Charlotte wears.
It does not flatter her. It doesn't. Because Charlotte to me has a boyish figure. Like, she has a little curve, but she has more of an athletic / boyish figure. And so stuff like that, she really shouldn't wear. So
it was just off brand for her was the biggest thing for me. It's just this is not what I expect from Charlotte. It's so I'm like, is this where they're going to take her character now? Because I don't like.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. A lot of people already are against Charlotte, because she won and she don't need another title, and then she's half stepping. So I mean, yeah, like Christine says, Charlotte has too much plastic surgery on her face. Yeah, that's obvious. My thing was that Charlotte, was attractive in the beginning. Like, she was pretty. I don't understand it with some of them. Like, a lot of them are pretty. Why mess up your face? It's like, at this rate, Charlotte's trying to look like Little Kim. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that they just, I don't know if they just have some body issues with themselves, because to everybody else they look fine, but then they do all this plastic surgery and stuff that just really makes them not look as good.
Jeffrey says it doesn't help that. Jeffrey said that it doesn't help that Charlotte is depressed and it shows. I agree, because she was very vulnerable on the Sherry Shepherd show. I did see a clip from that, and I do wish the best for her, even though I'm not her biggest fan. You don't wish harm on anybody. At least I don't. So I just hope that she does find the peace and the help that she needs. HBT says Charlotte took her dad's bill. She doesn't look like a man, but she definitely lacks curves. Exactly. Poor Charlotte. But so yeah, Harry, I told you. Because little Kim, like back in the 90s, she was so pretty, and then she just ultimately destroyed her face. You can't even recognize her anymore, and it's just sad. No, it has been confirmed that her and Andrade did get a divorce, and she opened up on it on the Sherry Shepherd show last week, I think, Christine. There was rumors about it beforehand, but it's more or less confirmed now. So I'm just looking right quick in case. In addition to some new matches, I think everybody's really starting to step up their game now. We got Charlotte and Tiffany that done that. Gunther and Jey Uso has taken a more of a violent turn. That's really piquing interest.
That beat down on Jimmy was pretty rough for by WWE standards. That was pretty rough.
Yes, and the Usos are going to do it good too. Like they're going to sell the shit out of it,
And it's one thing
they made the.
Noticed,
go ahead.
I was going to say it's one thing I've noticed in the Triple H regime is Vince was very against blood. He didn't like it. He used it very sparingly, but they have used it a lot more since Triple H was. I mean, not to the point that AEW does it, but they definitely seem to be okay with it now. And that made that Jimmy beatdown look really rough.
Yeah. They gonna get their licks in. Don't worry about that, Jeffrey. They gonna get their licks in before it's done with. And Jacob Fatu is going to challenge LA Knight for the United States Championship. And then the Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker against Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. That's going to be a good one, too. And Rey Fenix officially made his debut Friday on SmackDown. Very happy for him.
Awesome.
I thought he was going to kill Nathan Frazier, but Nathan Frazier actually did really good against him. So it was a good first match for him.
Yeah, and they mentioned at least that Phoenix and Penta were partners. They did mention that they were part of the Lucha Brothers. So maybe they will put them up.
I think together. They did. I think they said they were the Lucha Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching them. I remember I first got introduced to them. I went to Fight for the Fallen in summer 2019, and they had an incredible match. I think it was with the Young Bucks. It was amazing, and from then on out, I was like, these guys are something serious. Totally won me over. I'm so glad they're doing what they want to do, and they're happy. So. Yes, I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end of Solo's bloodline. The fact that they don't really have anything for Solo and Tama, I'm really surprised at this point.
Considering how hard they were pushing them, they don't really have much for them.
Yeah. I don't know what they got going on.
I mean, one of the things with Tonga is that his partner got hurt, and I think they're just trying to make a lemonade out of lemons right now because he's out.
Right,
because they wanted him. They wanted, the group.
And those of us who are familiar, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say they wanted God, and right now they only have half of the. So.
Yeah, they were in Lucha Underground. I probably saw that too, Jeffrey, and it doesn't ring a bell with me at this moment. Yeah, they really don't. That's a great point. But for those of us who kind of know of Tama's work prior to coming to WWE, he's an amazing athlete, very good in the ring. Just it's like you said, Tongalo is hurt right now, so they really it's kind of like, what do we do? But Solo don't have anything either. That's why I'm kind of surprised. I don't know if is Solo even hurt. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
He hasn't really done much since he got back.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so we'll see. So
and I always liked Tonga's dad too.
Oh yeah. Oh, Haku is nothing to play with.
Yeah, he's a legitimate would just
inside and outside the ring, he is a legitimate badass. Like, oh my gosh. I've read so many, like, I'll read books and like a lot of people are like, that is a man you don't want to mess with.
No.
So all right. If you got Solo is a follower now begging for TV time. Perhaps. You know what? I was sitting there thinking the other day, like, if Carmelo Hayes is getting TV time every week, that's a good thing. Might not make sense right now, but the fact of the matter is like he's getting some TV time, and that's better than nothing at this point for him. So, like, you got to crawl before you walk when you get there.
That's the intro point for Trick Williams to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I said it last time while I was on here, is that I think that they're going to eventually keep pushing Carmelo to bring in Trick, because that's like his entry point.
That's a good point, because Javon told Trick he was Carmelo Hayes now.
Yeah, so when he comes in, like yeah, when he comes in, they'll probably just renew that rivalry, at least for their first thing, and then they'll just move on to something else. But
there's always that, Jeffrey. There is always that. What if Solo wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I don't mean to laugh, but that was kind of funny. Who knows?
Yeah, that's
you got anything else? Go ahead.
That's an event I've always thought they've just never followed through with. Like, everybody that wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, it's like, oh, you think that they're gonna like push them, and then it's like, oh, well, we kind of forget about you, because like everybody that wins it just doesn't do much. Like
Mm-hmm.
Corbin won it, they just okay, no. Like Cesaro won it, like Claudio, he won it. They didn't do anything with it.
Matt Hardy won it.
Yeah, and they didn't do anything with him really after it. So it's just like one of those things. Like, what?
I don't mind the Battle Royal, but they don't follow up with it. That's the thing that bugs me.
Yep.
Harry says if they knew how to build a real tag division, they would have something for Solo and Tama. Is sad, but a real division would create work for a lot of workers. They kind of have something going on in SmackDown. Why they haven't capitalized on that, I have no idea, Harry. I do like the fact that the Street Profits have a whole new attitude. They got new music, and the fans are behind them. I know they wanted to see the Street Profits turn heel or whatever, but the fans are really behind them, and they're like still celebrating with the fans. I think they're just going with the flow when it comes to that, which that everybody likes Street Profits. They're very charismatic, very good. They need to consult with P.S. Hayes to learn how to build a real division for tag team wrestling. And too, like, on and off, they would do good with tag division, and then they kind of forget about it. Kind of like on Raw. Like, who were the tag champions on Raw? Oh, War Raiders. See, I don't remember.
Yeah, you have to think about it for a second.
Yeah. And then, they're doing a fantastic job with Chelsea Green. With the United States Championship, I love it. I love the fact that she's got her secret harvest, and I love that. But Lyra's Intercontinental title reign, I just it doesn't seem to have that same pop. It's just here you can have a title, and they say her and Bayley had a good match on Raw though.
Yeah, it was a very good match. My thing with Lyra is I think she's a very good wrestler.
Oh
but
yeah,
her promo work still needs some work.
yeah.
But she's really good in the ring.
Harry says the battle royals don't mean anything anymore. It used to be special, and the Street Profit thing is great. I don't know how long it's going to last, though. I can't trust it.
Yeah, I like the new Street Profits.
Jeffrey says the Street Profits tried to turn heel, but they got cheered for it. It's almost kind of like Stone Cold thing. They wanted Stone Cold to be this bad guy, and then the whole 316 thing just took off. I mean, when you're over, you're over. I mean, don't push against it. Let it go with the grain.
Yeah, I don't think the Profits are straight face or heels right now. I think they're kind of in that gray area that just leans a little bit more face.
Yeah, I do like the fact
they can work with either a heel or a face team right now.
I do like the fact that they keep running in between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns too. So there's a bit of a presence on the SmackDown side. I can't really speak for Raw too much because I don't get to watch Raw. So, Lyra's my girl, but the belt is there. It's like they're still trying to figure out what to do with it. I agree, Terry. I totally agree.
Yeah, with Lyra, I just thought it was just a little bit too soon for her to be champion. But I don't not like her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Lyra is very talented, and it's not her fault. So, if you don't have, do you have anything else that go ahead?
Well, I was going to say something about the Chelsea Green thing. I think she's doing really great. But the thing is, she's a Canadian. She's the United States champion, and she's being defended by two Scottish men.
The juxtaposition.
Which really even looked weirder when they were on this little European tour.
Yeah. I love it though, because it's they're making the most out of it. So I mean, I can't hate that for sure. If there's anything else you want to add before we log off for the night?
No, not that I can think of. We covered a lot of stuff tonight.
We did. So I'm not. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna do. I don't know if we're gonna have a show next week or not. We might do a roundtable with some of the guys in our little podcast circle. I don't know when that is yet, so I don't know if we're gonna do a show next week or not. But either way, we're gonna let you know. And of course, thank you to Jamie once again for hanging out with me for a little bit tonight. And
thanks for having me.
No problem. If you want, you could if you tell people where to find you and what you're involved with to give them check them out.
You can just pretty much all I do right now is just Facebook. You can find me by my name and Baxter on Facebook.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for tonight. Y'all take care and be safe. Christine, definitely thinking about you with all this weather and all this floods and stuff. I know it probably isn't near you, but I know it's out there by Cincinnati and stuff. So, but definitely take care of each other and be good. So, we'll see y'all later.
I